When Solomon became king, he asked God for help to lead the Israelites. God gave King Solomon wisdom to lead his people. People came from far away to hear Solomon's wise words. The Bible teaches that there are two ways to live: a wrong way, doing what is foolish and evil, and a right way, doing what is wise and good.
Solomon wrote thousands of wise sayings called Proverbs. He also wrote more than 1,000 songs. In the book of Proverbs, Solomon said to love and worship God. He told people how to make wise decisions. If people listened to God's words and did what God told them to do, God would bless them and protect them. If they did not listen to God's words and obey them, they would make bad decisions and face consequences for their sins. They would not be happy, healthy, or get along well with others.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart, Solomon wrote in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. He also wrote other wise sayings like, "A gentle answer turns away anger, but a harsh word stirs up wrath." And even a young man is known by his actions, by whether his behavior is pure and upright. Some people do not always listen to God's words. Solomon wrote, "Fools hate wisdom and instruction." He also wrote, "A fool does not want to learn, but only wants to say what he thinks. And a fool does whatever he thinks is right, but a wise person listens to advice."
Solomon wrote another book in the Bible called Ecclesiastes. The book of Ecclesiastes has wisdom for people too. Solomon wrote about money and work and how to live a good life. Many people seek after these things, but these things do not truly satisfy. The most important thing, Solomon said, is to love and obey God.
Solomon taught that there is a time for everything, a time to give birth and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. Solomon also wrote a poem about love. This poem is called Song of Songs. Solomon wrote this poem to celebrate God's wise plan for love and marriage.
Wisdom in the Bible shows us how to be like Jesus, in how we live, how we speak, and how we think. But wisdom cannot save us. Only Jesus, who perfectly followed God's wise plan, can rescue us from sin.
Expressing wisdom that we've been talking about. Remember, wisdom is understanding God's way to live. It's not just knowledge, it's not just knowing things, it's understanding how God wants us to live to please Him and bring Him glory. And one of the ways that God wants us to live with wisdom is by obeying those in authority. Think about Jesus. When Jesus was on earth, He obeyed God completely. God was His authority, the Father was His authority. And Jesus obeyed completely in His time on earth, and that mattered greatly. So Jesus lived with wisdom in obedience, so we live with obedience as well to express wisdom, to express trust in God. So how can you obey your parents and others this week to show true wisdom?